All right, guys, we are here to talk about SolidCAM for operators. So SolidCAM for operators came out last year about this time when we were at our Israel summit and didn't get a whole lot of traction as much as I thought we would. But so what I want to do is kind of go over the benefits of the SolidCAM for operators for you guys. So we were just watching Zika's part there, and there's a lot of operations there. But what if Zika programmed it a wrong feed rate? And now I'm down at the machine. I got nothing to do other than modify the G code, which I'll have to go back through and modify the program itself, or I can use my SolidCAM for operators. So what we're doing here is we are bridging the gap between the programmer and the machine operator. The programmer, let's say Zeke, I'm gonna pick on you, Zika, because you had those pretty parts and all. So all those programs, we decided to switch out end mills because the end mills were starting to go bad prematurely, and we need to adjust the feed and speeds. Well, now we can do that very simply right at the machine. There is no having to go back to that programmer's computer. There's no having to go up to the programming department. No trying to find out who programmed that part, because, you know, if I programmed a part, I don't want anybody else touching my program, right? So what we came out with is, like I said, an excellent bridge to bridge the gap between our operators that are on the floor as well as the programmers in the machine shop. So what we're looking at here is, on average, for the smaller shops, 1 to 3 CNCs, we have a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning that that programmer is also the operator for their machine. Now, if we get into a little bit larger shop from 4 to 10 CNCs, which is our red right there, we have 1 programmer for 2 operators. So now we start getting into a problem already, because 1 programmer for 1 operator works great, because when I have a problem on my machine, I can go yell at Zika and say, what were you thinking on this feed rate, guys? So now, into the larger machine shops, 4 operators to 1 programmer. Now, in the machine shop I came from, we had 100 CNC machines and we had 5 programmers, all using SolidCAM. Here's the problem is, at our company, very large company, I had to walk my butt all the way upstairs just to do a simple program change. All of our shop computers are low-end shop computers that don't have SolidWorks, they don't have SolidCAM. So, what do we have for that now is our SolidCAM for operators. And Greg's gonna pass out some tablets right now. We are running a machine simulation on a sprayer nozzle using a tablet. A tablet. We're not worried about a big fancy computer anymore. Like I said, this is a small Surface Go that you guys can do your simulation on, you can do your verification on, all that stuff. Now, the big picture, or the big thing for the operators is the setup. So as Zika's operations are there, you guys know, as the operator, we're sitting there with our hand on feed hold, running that part through, cycling through. Well, we can't see in that machine. We can't see on the backside. We can't see what's crashing or what's gonna collide now, and this is what's gonna prevent it. So we have the full ability to do the editor, simulator, and editor light. Now, why do we have the 3 different versions? Well, let's just say we have a new operator and he's not very comfortable with the feeds and speeds. So I don't want to give him the ability to modify feed rates. I don't want to give him the ability to modify tool path. So I can limit them by using just the simulator only. So what's in the editor? So I can modify my operations. I can go in there and do simple modifications. I can make holes larger, smaller, whatever I need. I just cannot add new geometry. I can modify any geometry that's there, I just can't add new. I can change my toolkit. If I gotta swap out tools, I can switch out my feeds and speeds. I can change my coolant options, as well as a full simulation. Now, the editor light is gonna give you all of that, except we're not gonna be able to modify the geometry. So the operator will only have control over feed rate and spindle RPM and some coolant options, but we cannot physically change or modify the geometry itself, okay? Now, and our last one is, let's just say for our new setup guy or our new operator is he's not able to make changes to the toolkit, he's not able to make changes to the geometry, but he is fully able to visualize the full toolpath in machine sim and part simulation and everything there, as well as full generation of the G-code. So, like I said, in a typical machine shop, if you guys have a machine shop that is 5 machines, even 4 machines or more, you gotta think we have 1 programmer for 5 guys. So this really bridges the gap between 1 guy trying to help 5 other guys out here. So this guy over here now, he can continue programming on all that new advanced stuff that's coming in the door, while the operators are able to make minor changes to get better parts in a faster cycle time for us, okay? So, like I said, having that tablet, what you guys are looking at right now, a Best Buy or a Walmart computer, I guess that's what we call it in the States, a very cheap computer. We do not need that powerhouse computer to run this, which is very important because in the machine shops, we do have those computers next to the machines, but those computers are for reading barcodes. It's for ordering tools or something like that. They don't have the capacity, but with putting this on there, we make that computer come alive now. All right, so some of the benefits. Tool damage. We can, like I said, as I'm sitting at that machine, I can visually see now without having to stick my head into the machine and worry about cutting my hands or anything, of see how the crash detection is gonna work, as well as if I have any close calls in there. Now, working more efficiently. So if I got a program from Zika and he set me a feed rate of 50 inches a minute on my feeds, but I know I can do 75, I only got 12 parts to run though. Is it worth walking all the way up to Zika and saying, hey, change that feed rate for a 5-minute time savings? Or we can do it right on the operator, so I can easily make those fine-tuned changes right on the fly very quickly and easily now. As well as we got a full setup picture. I can generate a tool list. I can see the tools that are in there. I can see the flutes that are in there. I can see the barcodes on my tools. So the setup time will go much faster, because if you think about it before, when our SolidCAM program came up, we had a setup sheet and we had a NC program. These are our 2 things. Well, I can put my tools in there, I load the program in there, I have no idea where that spindle's gonna be going unless I wanna read through the entire G-code, where if I go up on my simulator, hit play real quick, boom, I can easily see or see what's going on or what's gonna be going on in that machine instead of wasting time. Feed, hold, single step, single step, single step, okay? Now, big one, eliminate those dry runs. We all do dry runs. We don't want to get in the machine and all of a sudden we get that certain point and, oh boy, you gotta pucker up a little bit and that's getting really close. So we don't even have to do the dry runs anymore. As long as we got our good TLOs and our work offsets, cycle start, go. Now that we have the operators, we have our computer right by there, any modified geometries, right on the fly, go for you guys. Okay? So, my thing to you guys is SolidCAM for operators, every shop that has 4 machines or more should be a must. For you guys, the sales guys, this is a huge benefit for you guys, because you guys can say that you're basically getting a second seat of software for 1/10 of the price. We got 5-axis that they're running up on the office, and we got the simulator down here. The simulator costs nothing compared to the 5-axis, but I'm still able to do everything with the operator that the big programmer up there can do, other than modify my geometry, okay? All right, and we do have a video